Stacey Sagara Bollinger, Anna Chan, Bloomin M, Hugh Jazz, Jamal Monique, Balvino N, Audit LA, Estrella S, Esmeralda Negrete, Eva Garcia.
Good morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
41动也不能动，也要看着你，直到感觉你的发线有了白雪的痕迹，直到视线变得模糊，直到不能呼吸，让我们形影不离。如果全世界我也可以放弃，至少还有你值得我去珍惜，而你在这里就是生命的奇迹。也许全世界我也可以忘记，只是不愿意失去你的消息，你掌心的痣我总记得在哪里。42突来的消息，那个人是你，这么多年你杳无音讯。时间的橡皮擦掉了记忆，但我迟迟却没有忘记你。秒针的声音滴答转不停，我的心里住着一个你。流过的泪滴全都因为你，原来迟迟都不曾放下你。或许我们就不该有段因果，或许我不该一枚求施舍。如果有天我离开了你的生活，如果有天你还爱着我，姑娘，为何你要放声哭泣？我在路那旁小河等你。43情意拖雨絲漂浮到此，射落我心幾麼事，和你愛到此方會知，有段我千着愛意，仍懷念你心共此，仍懷念你新悔意。當天你別離，害了四數字，是舊知春天又再會時，潮濕心裏藏平紅夜眼絲，從此望春天分開不知。當天你別離，害了四數字，是舊知春天又再會時。General public comment. I want to ask the city attorney, even though I have no idea where he is now, I want to know why yesterday in the committee meeting, there's a public comment speaker speaking public comment without a timer. I want to know why I am speaking public comment. There must be a timer. So I want to know what's the difference between a speaker. Why is he so superior that he is allowed to speak public comment without the limitation of a timer? Is that because he is white? Because I am white too. I am a beautiful blonde Caucasian. I am a same BBC white, beautiful blonde Caucasian. Why other white people speak public comment without a timer, but I must speak public comment with a timer? Why other people can speak Palestinian without an interruption, but why I am not allowed to speak Israel? It has to be interrupted by every single Bloomingfield. I disagree.
Okay, so next speaker. Good morning.
Oh,
Which
you're done?
items
Thank
would you
you.
like to
Good
speak
morning.
to?
My name is Estella. It's an English name. And I'd like to speak on 40, 41, and general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Welcome to Gadfly Herald Live. Follow on X. Item 41. City jobs require a high level of education, such as education in the U.S. Constitution, U.S. laws, U.S. ethics. U.S. students pay into the United States education system to earn this education that is essential to access civic duties in city jobs. Item 40. Now, my papa is from León, Mexico. My mama is from Switzerland. I am mixed. I am white and Mexican indigenous. I do not have any problem with foreign nationals. However, item 40 prioritizes foreign nationals for city jobs by providing visas. Now, this is a problem because city jobs are competitive. They are hard enough to qualify for. In tandem, these two items create a condition where foreseeably undereducated foreign nationals would be endangered to the city job for visas. These candidates would not have the education nor autonomy needed to defend their own and the people's rights. These two items were held in the illegal 8:30 Personnel and Audits and Hiring Committee meeting before the City Council was even open, before the City Hall was even open. The City Hall opens at 9 a.m. I showed up at 7 o'clock. I waited around for Mr. McGosker to show up at 8:45, and it was just one council member. It was an illegitimate, illegal meeting. I was not allowed to speak on 60 seconds general public comment, even though, as Mr. McGosker stated, this is not a public meeting. Therefore, if it's not a public meeting, I should have gotten my time. The rules didn't apply. Thank you very much for my time. God bless you. God bless America.
Okay. Quiero pedir que por favor apoyen la actualización Larso y el aumento anual del 3%.
I am asking that you support the LARSO update and the 3% increase.
Esta petición nos mantendrá en nuestros hogares.
We will make sure that we stay in our homes.
Veo como una gran injusticia hacia nosotros los inquilinos que quieran un aumento de renta.
I see it as a very large injustice when they raise the rent for tenants.
Viendo claramente la situación que pasamos mes a mes ahorrando para pagar rentas tan altas con un sueldo mínimo.
We save month to month to pay the high rents, and we earn the minimum wage.
El aumentar las rentas nos llevará a más homeless. Es para mí una gran tristeza y frustración ver tanta gente viviendo en la calle, causa que no tienen para pagar una vivienda.
If they raise the rent at a higher level, then it will be even more difficult for us to pay rent.
Pero
And we
más
will
triste-
end up, un momentito, por favor, and we will end up homeless on the streets. It saddens me to see so many people on the street.
Pero más tristeza me da ver cómo no se tocan el corazón para proponer esta proposición de aumento de renta, sabiendo que el daño que van a causar a la comunidad.
And I am really sad, and it also makes me wonder, why are they proposing such a high rate? This is not good for the community.
Ya basta de tanto. Gracias.
Thank you.
Good morning, Grote. I would like to speak on items 1, 38, 40, and general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Thank you. So item 1 is regarding nuisance abatement. I generally do appreciate when this body has a nuisance abatement motion. There are a lot of abandoned, misappropriated properties throughout Los Angeles. Grote, it's really loud over here. Do you think you could ask them to quiet down a bit? Thank you. Thank you for quieting down over there. But while this motion is great for this one property, I think the city should be taking a harder inventory of abandoned properties like the mansion that got covered in graffiti in Councilmember Rahman's district, who's also over here chatting with someone who's probably a lobbyist who's not paying attention. Abandoned mansions in your district, Nithya Rahman, are a serious problem, especially in a housing shortage. So let's go to 38 and 40. These are relating to city personnel. So 38 seeks to coordinate with the Youth Development Department for hiring programs. 40 seeks to sponsor visas for immigrants to work city jobs. Two things that the youth and immigrants have in common with regard to employment is they typically are much less likely to advocate for their rights as employees. So I think it's really interesting that the city wants to say, because we do have a crisis as far as personnel and getting the business of the city done. There's a lot of self-imposed issues as far as the way the city council hires. But instead of saying, we're going to make the city a model and a standard for employment, we're gonna make sure that every city worker has strong rights. We're gonna make sure every city worker is hired expeditiously so that our departments can be fully staffed. Instead of saying, we're going to set an example as far as wages and benefits to set the scale for the rest of the city as far as employment goes, it's like a race to the bottom. How many vulnerable people can we get in our ranks? I think that both the youth and our immigrants who live in LA, they should have every right and opportunity that people who were born in this country or who are fully grown have, but I don't think we need to be working to get more children in the workforce. We should be going the opposite way, away from child labor. Kids, especially teenagers, they should be enjoying their lives, not stuck at a desk or selling food. And we just need better standards for the city's employment. There's a council file expiring, 19-1020. That motion is seeking to let unhoused people speak about the programs the city is spending money providing because they lack efficacy and the people are starving. She lied to me when Nithya said she wants transparency. She lied to me to do the things her campaign said she would. She lied to me. She is not even trying. She lied to me, but still I try, even though she lied. Political hacks, you guys, political hacks, come on, political hacks. You know that what you do is wrong. Shout out to Smoke and Scan, Damon, Brock, Landers. It's been a while. I hope you guys are doing well. And a big fuck you to Kevin De Leon, and a big fuck you to the rest of the body for supporting him.
Soy miembro de Colectivo Poder Comunitario
I'm a member of Colectivo Poder Comunitario,
y estoy aquí para pedir al Consejo que apoye a la ley Larzo porque la necesitamos.
and I'm here to ask the neighborhood council, the city council members to support the Larso law.
Actualmente estoy siendo acosada por mi dueño que me está aumentando $800 más de renta.
I am actually being harassed by the property owner. He wants to raise the rent in $800.
No tengo control de renta, solamente a nivel estatal.
I don't have rent control, local rent control. I only have a state control.
Y me parece injusto este aumento.
This raise is very unfair.
Y por eso urge que el Consejo apoye la actualización de la ley Larzo.
I urge the city council members to support the Larso Act.
Gracias. Esto.
Thank you. That's all.
Ok, mi nombre es Silvia Arenas, voy a hablar del general y del 5. Soy miembro del colectivo Poder Comunitario.
My name is Sylvia Herreras, and I am going to give public commentary as well as I wanted to talk about number 5, and I am part of Poder Colectivo Comunitario.
Y vivo en el distrito 14.
And I live in District 14.
Queremos que pase la ley Larso porque quieren poner un aumento alto.
We want LARSA to pass because they're going to increase largely the rent.
Sobre la renta. Ahora estoy a punto de salir de mi casa por un capricho de la dueña que no le quise pagar un aumento de $1,000 más.
I am about to lose my home because the owner has decided that she wants to charge $1,000 more, which I cannot pay.
Buscó pretextos y con ayuda nos desalojó a mí y a mi hijo con autismo.
She looked for reasons that she could kick us out, and she did, and she kicked out me as well as my son who has autism.
Estoy a punto de que vaya el sheriff a sacarme. No tengo a dónde irme. Nuestro hogar va a ser una ven porque las rentas están demasiadas caras.
They're about to send the sheriff to come take us away from our home. Our home is about to be a van because we won't have a place to live because the rent is so high.
Nos urge que ustedes actualicen la ley Larso ahora.
It is urgent that you update the LARSO Act
Para que ya no haya más gente desalojada en la calle como vamos a estar nosotros.
so there's
Gracias.
not more people that are thrown out onto the streets just like we're about to be. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mi nombre es Julia, soy miembro del colectivo Poder Comunitario
My name is...
sorry.
Continue.
y vengo a apoyar la ley Larso, ya que quieren subir el 3% de renta.
My name is Julio Rosco, and I'm here as part of Poder Comunitario, and I am also here to support LARSO because they want to raise rent by 3%.
Y vengo a pedirles a todos ustedes que por favor se toque un poco el corazón de nosotros, que no tenemos lo suficiente dinero para pagar más de renta.
And I want you guys to, think with your hearts a bit in terms of us because we do not have the money to pay more rent.
Yo ahorita en este momento, el comentario 5, yo tengo 15 días para salir desalojada porque por causa de abogados y jueces corruptos que no captan la ley como debe de ser, soy desalojada.
I right now have 15 days to get out of my home because of judges and corrupt lawyers who don't respect the law as it should be. I am going to be kicked out.
Y ahorita se me hace tan injusto que quieren subir la renta. A mí se me hace difícil juntar $5,000, $6,000 para juntar para un entre de renta y todavía quieren subirme la renta. ¿A dónde vamos a llegar, por favor? Hay que pensar en la economía. ¿A dónde vamos a ir? ¿A la calle? ¿Queremos más homeless?
And how are they going to raise the rent? We can't afford these rent increase with $600, $6,000, $5,000. I can't make that much to pay. And what's going to happen? What's going to happen to the economy? Are we just all going to be kicked out onto the street?
Por favor, les pido, piensen, hablen y tóquense el corazón. Yo ya soy desalojada. Tengo una niña de 6 años y estoy embarazada.
I am asking you guys to reach into your heart. There are going to be more homeless people. I have already been evicted. I have a 6-year-old child, and I'm pregnant.
Gracias.
Thank you.
My name is Byron Lacossi, and it's a general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Byron Lacossi. I'd like to start by thanking my neighbors who are here today, as well as those who couldn't make it. I also like to extend my gratitude to the LA Alliance and the CD1 Coalition team for taking time to listen to our concerns. Our neighborhood around Avenue 45 and 44 has been overtaken by dangerous, unhoused drug dealers and addicts, creating daily public and safety hazards. We are constantly confronted with individuals under the influence, discarded syringes, drug activity, and even human waste. We are here today to call attention to the fact that our district city council member, Eunisses Hernandez, has not taken the necessary steps to resolve these critical issues. We will need a swift, decisive action to find a permanent solution. You'll hear from residents who are frustrated and worn out from dealing with these problems every single day. Despite reaching out to multiple agencies, LA City Sanitation, Caltrans, Mayor Bass, LAPD, we still do not have the help we need. And we need you to step up, Eunisses. If you can't, then you need to resign.
What was that you said? I'm general comment.
Okay. So
Okay, my name is Ramona Gongora. Good morning, and I live in Highland Park with my family. My family has been there since the 1950s, and I've also appreciated efforts of CD Coalition 1 and LA Alliance for supporting us in all our issues we have on our street. However, I am here because I'm frustrated with the lack of response or insufficient action from our council member, Eunisses Hernandez. We face public health issues daily, drugged out individuals, discarded syringes, drug sales, human waste, and dirty clothes hanging on our property fences. My family's afraid to step outside. I have 4 generations in my home, myself, my mother, my son, and my grandson. So my whole family has to deal with seeing drug addicts across the street, smoking crack, hookers, prostitution in their tents, and constant drug-related foot traffic and cars at all hours of the night. We hear yelling and screaming and fighting of these drugged out people, and we live in fear every time we smell a smoke that it's our house going up in smoke. Please, Eunice, help us.
Hello, good morning. My name is Scott Monday, and I bought my house in Highland Park on East Avenue 45 21 years ago.
which items? Sorry.
General comment.
Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
When I first moved in, the area was safe, clean, and quiet. Now, due to the lack of action from our council member, Eunisses Hernandez, we're dealing with drugs and prostitution in our neighborhood. If it weren't for the efforts of my neighbors on East Avenue 45, the CD1 Coalition, and the LA Alliance, our neighborhood would look like a junkyard. We've organized volunteer cleanups without any support or response from the council member's office. Despite repeated requests for help, they have not responded. There is also individuals posing as unhoused so that they can sell drugs and offer the prostitution in the no trespassing zone along the south embankment of the 110 freeway, impacting avenues 43, 44, and 45. It's become a frightening environment. On top of that, our police officers are experiencing low morale due to the council members' anti-police rhetoric. Eunisses, either step up or resign. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Martha, and I live with my son on Avenue 45. When I first moved here, the neighborhood was clean, quiet, and safe. For walking the dogs and me doing my walking every day, it was safe, or at night. However, over time, people without homes began to move in, set up camps, use drugs, and litter the area, and have prostitutes come over. And at nighttime, they do a screaming, they start crying, making a lot of noise that it wakes me up at 1, 2 in the morning. And the situation has gotten worse and worse every day. And we're trying to see if they can help us clean it. That's all I can say. Thank you.
My name is Teresa, and I live in Avenue 45. And Hernandez, I'm real surprised that you never show up to help us. We need help. You know what we all need help. It's sad to see Highland Park the way it's going.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Raul Claros, general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning, Council President and Council members. I'm here to speak directly to Councilmember Hernandez. Back in March, we came with the El Salvador Corridor street vendors. Back in June, we came with the Guatemalan Square after you sabotaged that project. Langers has called you out about MacArthur Park, as has everybody else that doesn't agree with you closing down Wilshire without any community input, with an opioid center to go down there and just create Skid Row West. It hasn't worked on Skid Row. It's not going to work at MacArthur Park. But community input is needed, and it's missing just like you are. We're now facing the Chinatown fire victims at Red Cross, where you didn't show up, and we had to do a first response. And now we're being told that former employees of yours are looking for city council because of the toxic environment of working under your office. Let's not forget the Hillside Villa tenants that have protested you twice and kicked you out of the negotiation table. Resign now or face the
Speaker,
recall
your
at the
time
end of
has
the month.
expired. Next speaker. Good morning.
Good morning, council members. This direct to the councilwoman Hernandez referring to
And which
the
item
CD1
would you like,
district.
Speaker?
Unfortunately, she
Hold on.
doesn't
Which
have
item would you like to
between
speak to?
Our community, right. She called me off
All right,
on the
good.
meeting because I asked how to like to run the meeting, and she didn't like it. She asked me very clearly, leave, Jesse, if you don't like the meeting, leave. That is a no-no, because you represent the community. You, the people, supposed to be support us. And in matter of fact, you're not fighting for the Avenue 34, the contamination of the property. And you're not fighting for Avenue 35 for the other yard. They're going to put all the trailers on that particular area. And where is your leadership? You're not doing the way it's supposed to be. Helping the people, working for the people. Where is it? Are you DSA or exactly who you are? Identify yourself. Thank you.
Hello, if you'd please remind us of the name you signed up under and what items or general public comment you want to speak on.
Yes, sir. Julian Alexander Macara. I'm requesting to speak 33, 34, and general comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the item and a minute for general. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Relative to point 33 and the initiative proceedings for 2025-2026 Proposition K assessment, we're going to be allocating 25 million annual funds for the acquisitions, capital improvements to parks and recreational community activities. I want to make you aware I was the youngest supervisor under Antonio Virgosa for the Summer Night Like Parks. Our park was the only one that didn't get shot at, or where there was a killing. This is in Highland Park. That was the only park. Look it up. History of neglectful use of state and California funds are prevalent within our organization's company culture. So allocating another 25 million for innovation, I'm gonna ask that you all do the same as your kids do. Put your phones away. Do not eat in class, do not use your phones in class. Your kids do that. Point 34. Regarding the Parks Commissionary company culture, in 2018, there was a letter of determination, and this is relative to the company culture that is prevalent of our institution here, where council districts and commissionary roles signed off on the reallocation of 20 regional zones for redevelopment effort in the city of Los Angeles. During the dissolution of the previous organization, this was in 2012, the Community Redevelopment Agency, CRLA. So in 2012, Antonio Virgosa accepted these 20 regions. 2018, Kevin De Leon and his associates, Gil Cedillo, and other individuals that are disgraced, signed off to use these locations for community development. And since 2018, I have proof that all y'all been doing is partying, underground. General comment. The modern speakeasy. This summer, our organization went through the grueling process of abiding the city's protocol and platform to communicate with our city's elected officials. I appreciate you starting to eat after I requested, Eunice. Done to provide a prudent realization that may be holding a public office, but their efforts are anything but for the public. We were advised by City One and DCA there was no funding for a community effort. Her Music and Poemas Festival was our family artisan market, and with the DCA, the Back to School Fest. Her housing proposal was our housing attainment outline. Her youth program sound a lot like our value department, sent 620 and 624. Offices are hoarding public funds and stealing from the constituents, all the while extending liberties to questionable groups, which are illicit. Placed within areas designated for redevelopment and community enterprise, underground organizations are providing Las Vegas services within our great city, causing the collateral damage that we are dealing with. Each person here has advised. I ask you again, who do you work for?
Good morning. My name is William Giovanni Flores Diaz, William Flores for short, and known in the community as Will Flo. I would like to speak on items 1, 5, and 10.
Okay, so the items 5 and item
1,
10
5,
are,
and 15, sorry.
okay. 5 and 15 are not open for public comment, but you can speak to them during general. So you have 1 minute for item number 1 and 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Okay, in that case, I want to bring up in CD8, there's a abandoned property at 701 and 701 and a half, where squatters have been taking over that property. There has been a lot of violence between the squatters and people taking over, claiming that that is their territory or their property. There has been gangs that in there. There has been a raid by the police department, where they said that there was approximately $300,000 worth of stolen goods, stolen cars, prostitution that has happened there. I've heard screams and have reported to 911, only to be transferred to the non-emergency number, and sometimes not even be answered at all. So this needs to be fixed. This is Station 77th.
Sir, somebody on the side will talk to you, but what's the address of this place? You said 701, but no street.
701 West 80th Street and
80th Street?
701.
Okay. The woman in the green jacket will talk to you.
Thank you. Yes, you probably have heard of Ms. Dor. Oh, sorry. Public comment. So for public comment, I would like to challenge the city to bring the police budget to under 45%. Year after year, they have received over 50% of the budget, and the work has not been presented as such. So I also support the fire department, the park and rec department, the youth development department, and all the other departments that have not been receiving their adequate amount, especially now that y'all have understood that there has been like a hiring type of issue within the city departments. So I urge all the city departments to do something about this, especially to prevent crime, not just focus on arresting our community members that often don't have an opportunity to become advocates and proper people in our social fabric of the community. Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Thank you, ambulance chaser. So let's see here. Number 1, fuck Marchese. Why, you dumb bastard. West Manchester Avenue is a shithole. Why don't you pay to clean it up? Dumb bastard. Number 2, we got Tracy Park not paying attention. So we're going to oppose your item on number 2. Fuck Tracy Park and her motion. Pay attention next time. Good point. So what else do we have here? Now let's see here. Let's see if Pumpkinhead there can figure out what I'm supposed to talk about here. Jesus, look at all this shit. Let's see here. Where do the items begin? Oh, here we go. 28. What about it? Fuck item 28, and fuck Hugo Stalin. Item 29, fuck CD10, fuck that item. Go ahead. And then we get Imelda Chinchilla Padilla. What are you trying to do here? The rent escrow account. So I found something with Imelda's name on it. Yes, I wonder, Imelda, are some of these speakers paid speakers and not registering as lobbyists, huh? Little fatty? What's she been up to? So if you have any problems, you call Imelda at 818-771-0236. And the lobbyist number is 818-984-1768. Just tell them you're a lobbyist. You'll probably get right through it, because they never answer your fucking phone calls over there in CD6. Goddamn fools. How did you find that out? I find everything out, human. Now, number 8? Fuck number 8.
So item number 8 is not open for public comment, so I'm going to ask that you stick to the items that are open, or I'm going to move you to general.
Ew, I'm sorry, I mean CD 8 on number 34. Much better. Fuck number 34. Is that on topic? Number 35, fuck number 35. I don't want Strathern Park. I want you to tear down the park and turn it into a homeless shelter at CD2. Fuck you. Then we get the First Park Trust Fund on 37. Fuck item 37. Then we get number 39. Fuck number 39. And then number 40. What the fuck do you want to have visas? So we can bring more DEI hires like Pumpkinhead? Let's hire some black people that were born in this country for a shame, you dumb shit. And then finally,
General?
We have the agreement, everybody. Rob Bonta wants you to sign an agreement to redraw your council districts. Now, he's been nice so far, but then he's going to send some other people in there, and they're going to talk like this. I told you to sign it! Sign it! Sign it! I'll indict you! Sign it! Sign it! And you don't want to talk to those kind of people. You're under criminal investigation, stupid. Imelda, you better sign that document Rob Bonta wants you to redistrict. You all better resign. Especially you, Eunisses, hanging out with Maduro and fucking Putin over there in Mexico. You better sign the document. See, because you're going to have to redistrict all your districts by 2026. But you know what? You're not going to do it. So you're going to force Rob Bonta to go against you and indict all of you.
Mr. Spindler, this is your only warning. Do not disrupt public comment or any portion of this meeting. Good morning. Thank you for your patience, Speaker.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mabel Caldwell, and I live in District 10 for over 13 years, and I'm a member of ACE. On September the 1st, 2023, I received the notice of change in terms of tenancy, stating that on January 1, 2024, my rent would increase 10%, which is exactly $132. This illegal rent increase has affected me greatly, and it is still affecting my housing insecurity. I am experiencing a number of challenges. For example, I have to spend the bulk of my household income on housing, and I have to choose between buying healthy, organic foods and going to local food banks, which is not the best food for my son who is totally disabled. What did I do about this illegal rent increase? I filed a complaint with LAHD immediately.
So, Speaker, your time has expired, but do you mind letting us know which council district you live in? Or if you don't want to say publicly, if you let the officer know over there.
Okay. Okay,
please,
thank you. What did LAH do? Nothing. It has.
So, Speaker, we have to move on to the next speaker. But again, if you let us know which council district you live in, that would be 10?
10.
Okay, thank you. So we have to move on to the next speaker. If you can hang around for just a minute. I know, the minute goes by fast.
My name is Jenna C., and I'm here to speak for general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay. The Los Angeles Rent Stabilization Ordinance, which regulates rent increases for 650,000 households in LA, hasn't had its rent increase formula updated in nearly 40 years and is unsustainable for tenants like myself. The Economic Roundtable report found that rental increases have favored landlords and that across LA, on average, only 35% of rental income is needed to cover landlord operating costs. This 65% profit means landlords' claims that they can't keep up with inflation to pay for maintenance is completely false. LAHD needs to report back to the city as soon as possible so that City Council can take action. We demand an annual allowable rent increase formula based on 60% of CPI with a 3% max and no minimum increase, removal of the 1% to 2% utility rent increase, removal of the 10% additional occupant rent increase, and no exemptions for small landlords. Thank you.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Many husbands are not coming home. Some of the reasons may be they're not coming home to the wives. They're not coming home. Some of the reasons may be, one, the wives are not cooking dinner. Maybe, it may be that. It may be because the wife is telling them what to do too much. It may be that. Or it may be that she doesn't comb her hair in the morning or brush her teeth. It may be that. There are many reasons why they're not coming home. Could be any of those three or all three of them together.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Which items would you like to speak to?
Hi, you tell me what items are available, please?
Yes, so for everybody on the phones, the items that are open for public comment are items number 1 and 2, items 28 through 45, and item number 49 on the continuation agenda.
Cool. All available items in general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
All right, cool. So we got another business improvement district. What would really improve the businesses in that area is if you cut the rent for the businesses in half, because the main reason why people can't afford to be in business is because they got to pay rent to the banks for their property, crazy rates. And that's why there's empty businesses all down Ventura Boulevard. There's buildings empty on Wilshire, Van Nuys, Magnolia. We're talking about prime real estate that somehow looks like a ghost town. You know why? Because the rent's too fucking expensive. More and more people are leaving that are even coming here, and we're acting like we should prepare for like a big population explosion. Motherfucker, everything's empty. So we have 29 through 32. These are REAP items, removing properties off of the rent escrow program. I think it's really funny how if your landlord doesn't uphold his side of the contract, your rent goes in a funny little box that they get to go grab later on when they eventually get to the repair that they got to do on the apartment. That's fucking whack as fuck. If I bought a car, I don't get to just hold the car and then never pay back anything, or get to keep driving it around and not do my side of the contract. They would come and repossess that car. You know, I don't get to stop paying rent because my landlord violates his contract. Instead, he just gets the money later, or she, or whatever your pronouns. We have item 38 is a city youth employment program report to. I'm guessing since y'all don't want to hire any adults, this is to encourage youth employment so that y'all could just hire kids to do the work. We have also item 40 is going to be reporting on a feasibility to sponsor visas for candidates to fill in city department positions. That's crazy. Y'all cut a bunch of vacant positions this year, and now you want to bring them back for things like parking enforcement and things that would just make people's daily lives inconvenient. And you're going to use illegal immigrants to do it, which is crazy. You're literally pitting people against each other. And if you notice, the council members, Eunisses and Hugo, they are not for the people. I don't know how they get to call themselves Latino because they're a disgrace. And that's why she's facing protests from residents that she's not helping out, that are probably going to get evicted and made in the street. Those people, you're going to offer them penance and city jobs that you didn't want to offer people that already applied for them. And now you're going to offer them the lower wages and shit because you know they don't have a choice because they're illegal immigrants. So they got to take whatever they can get. And a city job is one of the best things you can get in this city. So how are they going to say no? And you're just trying to pit the Spanish population against each other, and it's disgusting. And honestly, Spanish people, like, you got to listen up and wake up to this shit. You can't be falling for their nonsense and start, like, you know, coming over here begging. It's really sad, bro, and it makes me sad to be Latino myself. So you really got to step it up because we can't let them pit us against each other. And we also can't let them make us look like beggars or fools. General public comment, please.
General public comment, go ahead.
All right, word. So this city council is abhorrent and fucking disgusting. Those words pretty much mean the same thing, but they're in two different languages. Abhorrent is for the people that fancy themselves to be conservative or neoliberal, or like I wear a suit to my job. And fucking disgusting is for everybody else listening that is tired of all the bullshit. how can you call yourself a representative of the city and not sit in the room when the public's giving their comment? You have illegal immigrants, you have legal immigrants, and then you have your friendly, like, white and Asian business owners. You don't even listen to any of them. And so what are you doing? Everybody needs to wake up and come together against this city council body, because you need to realize they're just putting us against each other. That's why they're pitting Spanish people against each other. They're pitting Asian people against black people. It's just crazy. It needs to stop. Notice Eunisses and Hugo don't look anything like the people that KDL and Neri Martinez were talking about in the tapes. They don't look small and dark.
Speaker, your time
do
has
they?
expired.
And that's
Next
what they were.
caller.
Fire department has to respond to an abandoned construction project causing neighboring occupants to become quasi-homeless. Yesterday, a firefighter fell through the floor of a burning, vacant Hollywood apartment building. In the hills, there is a residence that has been vacant for the past 2 decades. Yet it seems that the city of Los Angeles is incentivizing via ED1 developers to purchase occupied homes and kicking little old ladies out onto the street. Yes, literally little old ladies. Ask yourselves, is the city of Los Angeles wanting to end homelessness, or is it responsible for creating people experiencing homelessness? Your actions in that horseshoe may answer that question. Thank you.
Yes, Sean from Canoga Park.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
One in general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Item number one, business item 4. We need more business, especially in CD2. There's Victory in Laurel Canyon. There's hardly any business there. We need to get, for the new councilman or council lady, please put new businesses in that district, my old district. General public comment. Kamala Harris should vote for Kamala Harris. Mark, I enjoyed the celebration of your inauguration, and the food was good. Soul food was good. I enjoyed it. I hope we can do a good job as president. I'm still praying for you. Whoever's running for CD2, please bring some more business in there. Candido, I'd like to say hello to you. Thanks.
But I'm raising this to everyone's attention because I understand and recognize how difficult it is to have these conversations. But the truth of the matter is, our financial circumstances in this city can no longer afford us to just blindly support the expenditures as they're being made. There's a lot of duplication in outreach. There's a lot of duplication in the housing and not utilizing some of the existing resources that have already been funded through some of our previous efforts, whether it was through the interim solutions that were provided with state funds, but also as we continue to engage in conversations with the county to ensure that many of our locations are qualified under the alliance agreement. We are both paying for services and housing that the county should otherwise be picking up the tab on. And so it's for that reason that I will continue to vote no, and I want to encourage you all to start really reflecting deeply about the state of our financial situation in this city and how we cannot afford to just continue to do the same because we are just unable to at this juncture. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Rahman.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Rodriguez. And I do want to thank the members of the committee, including yourself, who've been a strong voice on ensuring that we have greater visibility and accountability on our homelessness spending. I think the last point that you mentioned is really one that I do want to underscore. I think it is really important to ensure that we are moving as many as possible of our Inside Safe units to Alliance eligible units and getting those services paid for by the county. It would have our expenditures there and allow us to serve more people while spending the same amount of money. And I do think that's really important, something that we've discussed in the committee over and over again. The mayor's office has made some progress, and I look forward to seeing more progress. And so I want to thank you for your continued attention to that issue. And I hope that we as a city can do better on it. I also do hope that as we move forward towards a moment of fiscal challenges, that we as a council set up with some of our own decisions earlier this year, that we pay the same amount of scrutiny to every piece of our spending across the city, not just on homelessness, but on every single piece of our spending. I don't want there to be double standards in this, and I'm working very hard in the committee to bring you more data, to bring you more insights into how our spending is happening so that you can scrutinize every dollar. And that is my responsibility as the chair, and I've taken that very seriously. And I look forward to seeing that across every piece of our work here in this city and every piece of service that we deliver to our constituents. So thank you all.
Thank you so much. Seeing no other members on the queue for this item, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes, 1 no.
All right, what's next?